How's everybody doing tonight? I am just on here for a few minutes to say congratulations to Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police for 3.5, close to 4 years, revenge retaliation, medical blacklisting, kidnapping, sex assaults, false arrest, criminal stalking, having my mother murdered, attempted murder on me for revenge retaliation, human trafficking, human sex trade slavery trafficking, adults or children to pedophiles, adults to sex offenders, financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, forgeries, welfare and disability pension thefts and frauds, bank thefts and frauds, extortions, Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, Spencer Mills 14716, ex chief or commander, year 2019, had me shot in August of 2019 before he left. Staff sergeants, years 2019 and 2021, sodomy, sex assault, and kidnapping. Shannon Cork, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas. A woman named Shelley Hafner and Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston. Criminal negligent committing covering up doctors for O.P.p and everyone else. CEO Wayne Cubbyduck. Administration Sarah Fiddler. Patient relations Paladin Security. File falsifier, medical blacklister, the one that assures the victims are medically blacklisted and get no help. Dr. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, Stacy's girlfriend. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Waldron, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard. Dr. McGregor, triage nurses Terry, Tanya, and David are all involved with criminal negligent intent, skull splitting, deforming, which I have proven, serious brain injury, lies, cover ups, body mutilations, attempted murders, and murders. The O.P.p you think you know. Time has been bought. Your little bastards have fucked my brain. This is done. How O.P.p commit crimes and get away with them? They use their little bastards. They use their boyfriends. They use their drug fed co offenders to lobotomize victims, to injure and torture their victims, while in the process of dropping charges for their involvement in crimes with and for O.P.p. Justice to the peace, to obstruct and make accusations stating that I was high on marijuana and hallucinating being sodomized. Fuck you. I don't think so. Whether you're justice of the peace or not, fuck you and your accusations. I can just imagine what it would be like if it was a woman or if it was a child, just exactly what you would do. Police surrounded me, hands on guns, to prevent anything legal on them or anybody else, and I have shown it and proven it. Obstructions, false arrest, laughing in my face, Shannon Cork over her boss's arrest. This to me is done. Time has been bought. I have no feeling or stimulation in my head or in my face on the right side. Damage has been done. If I could get a CAT scan done or an MRI brainwave to prove what is happening to me, it would show a lot of damage that I have not done myself. Lies about being suicidal, self-harmer, 100% bullshit. Lie, and it needs to be proven by the ones who cast it. Right, Stacy? Right, Spencer Mills? Lies about having a long criminal record in history. Lies about drugs I do not do. I'm against them. And everybody knows me, knows I'm against them. And speaking of drugs, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Spencer Mills, and Robert Kane have a meth lab in Picton, Ontario, or in Tweed, Ontario. They are associated also to serial killer Russell Williams. O.P.p are still friends with him, along with Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy, who is also a rapist, a drug lacer as well. They are guilty of murdering my mother in 2020 for Spencer Mills and Stacy. Time with this to me has been bought. How O.P.p traffic, frame, and kill their victims. They lobotomize them, they lie, they buy time, they use the doctors for cover ups, they use their inmates, and then they sit back and let it happen. The lies about being suicidal and self harmer isn't that too convenient for when you're committing homicides? You could label as that while you're committing murders, right? To get away with it. Isn't that right, Spencer Mills? Nice fucking job, you piece of shit terrorist. One way or another, you're going to be recognized and you're going to be arrested and charged and hopefully thrown in jail where you belong, along with the doctors here. I spoke of police crimes, and that's the only thing I have done. So this is how you go about doing this. You completely destroy my fucking brain. You completely deform me. You use these pieces of shit in hopes to mentally fuck me up, knowing that they are psychotic, delusional bastards who you feed drugs to and $300 a day, and then turn around and try to extort $22,000 from me for their arrest. Good fucking going. I bet you patient relations at Lennox and Annington Hospital never had to pay no 22,000 to have me arrested, but I bet there has been a lot of money passed back and forth between O.P.p and the hospital to continue covering crimes for with and for each other, using your badges, using your positions, and using your credentials like they do. I bet I am not the only one you've done this to. You're using remote neuromonitoring, you're giving it to pedophiles, and they're using it on children because it enables invasive surveillance for them to watch your children and you without even possibly being aware of it. This is the kind of tech that this is, and it is being used by these pervert pieces of shit. This is how I'm going through my identity theft and all the changes which I have shown and proven. This is how I am being mentally fucked up. And it is being done conveniently by a psychotic homosexual piece of shit garbage, Blair Hardy, Billy Waldridge, 149 Center Street North, last known used name. He used to also live in Picton. He's bald, glasses, goatee, approximately is 70, 73 years old. I'm 50 and he thinks that we were switched at birth, but he is highly psychotic and delusional. He also thinks he's Harry Potter. So it just goes to show you how fucked in the head he is. Then there is Tyler Teabag Lake, an animal killer and guilty of attempted murders. There is Blair Hardy, of course, boyfriend to Spencer Mills, guilty of rapes, guilty of drug lacing, guilty of multiple murders and attempted murder. Jason Gimpy Two Step Van Alstyne, guilty of murders, guilty of attempted murder, and this identity theft on me involved. Just like he and Blair Hardy were involved with the murder of Jack Clark, and it was for O.P.p revenge. Who was a homeless guy around Napanee who was a troublemaker, and he had a lot of issues, but at the same time he was still killed through O.P.p from Blair Hardy, and Jason Gimpy Two Step was with him 2 days prior. So the O.P.p you think you know. This to me is done. The body mutilations, the lies, cover ups, me being told by the hospital I cannot get medical help from them until I get approval from O.P.p, which is not going to happen when they're the bastards that are involved with this and have been from day one. So they're not going to give approval for me to get medical help to save my life from their crimes when they want me dead. And I will not be proven wrong on that. One way or another, Blair Hardy, Billy Waldridge, Lake, Hartwick, and the rest of you fucks, I will get you arrested. And if I share any DNA with any of you bastards because I am the end of my bloodline, if I share any DNA with any of you, you're fucked even more, you low-life pieces of shit. And I don't care if you suck O.P.p cock or not, because that's what you are. You're little O.P.p cocksuckers, and this is why they will not touch you. They think of people as toilets, ones they can piss and shit on and have their life flushed down the toilet, flushed down the tubes, the drain. Nothing more than a dollar sign. O.P.p can human traffic and make money off of one way or another. I spoke their crimes, and as a result, I became a victim. No criminal history or record, and no association with anyone's named prior to any of this. The police you think you know. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. Chris Wood, love all, hate none, be safe, watch yourselves and watch your children. Remember, Billy Waldridge, Blair Hardy, homosexual, bunch of fucking low-life goofs. You will pay for this whether you give blowjobs to cops or not. They care more about their dick in your mouth than they do life itself. And I have proven it. They're nothing more than fucking treasonous terrorists guilty of slavery, sex slavery, pedophilia, murdering, kidnapping, false arrests, and more. And the doctors here are just as bad. But time has been bought. Way to turn your victims into vegetables. Buy time and in hopes that you forget about it or they forget about it to not bring lawsuits against you. Good fucking job. But that's why you transfer also to buy time and in hopes of using your credentials as a means to get away with it. Isn't that right, Spencer Mills? You terrorist pieces of shit garbage. In the meantime, I have no feeling or stimulation in my head, and I haven't for approximately 3 to 4 months. Excuse me. I get air all the time blowing through my head. I get actual piss and feces going through my mouth, going through my body, and going up through my head, through my right temple area as well, and around to that spot on the back of my head. So everybody wants to think that this is a fucking lie, but they don't want to do anything to medically prove it. So right from my new doctor, Dr. Pulo or whatever, a woman from Kingston who has her own office but also works with and for a free clinic in Kingston. So, and she is possibly through LGBTQ, she's probably involved with Stacy and also Tatiana because she is a doctor too. Stacy is a mental health worker, and they're all lesbians. And I'm not saying anything, so I hope nobody will take that the wrong way, but that's just what it is. Just like the male ones that are involved are all homosexuals, are all gay men. From Tyler Lake to Jason Van Alstyne to Blair Hardy to Billy Wooldridge to Spencer Mills. Even Shannon Quirk probably has a penis. So, and I really don't want to talk that way about cops, but you're making me talk this way. You're the one that is making me hate you. because you're murdering fucking low-life garbage. One way or another, too. Billy Wooldridge of 149 Center Street North. You want to hope that you never come out, and you want to hope that I never see you. This is no threat. You want to do this to me? You want to murder my mother? You want to attempt murder on me and steal my identity for O.P.p purposes? Because you're a harbored sex offender who they will not touch. This is why I was falsely fucking arrested for my prints and my pictures and signatures for forgeries, framings, and frauds on me through you and Hardy, you cocksuckers. And you being a Harvard wanted inmate sex offender. I'm not taking a fall for any of you garbage O.P.p. I don't give a fuck. This is why you had my blood and piss stolen as well. And I will not be proven wrong, you fucking scumbag pieces of shit, lowlife. Other than that, I hope everybody is doing good and having a good day. So, because I'm definitely not, I'm being numbed down to be dumbed down, and this is just getting worse. Blair Hurt either is also a Burt Hustler and a Maggie Falls who are involved with this. Robert Barry, Allie Cooper, a seriously fat, obese woman that lives in the corner of Center and Thomas Street. Thomas side door entrance. It is a crack shack. She is a hooker madam to Michelle Irish, to Holly Carlisle, and the pimps to these whores are O.P.p. Spencer Mills. So they're running prostitution. Even David Smith himself, a pastor or a priest, is involved in prostitution, human trafficking. Isn't that right, you fucker? And I'm not even going to talk about the Morning Star mission using their fraudulent bullshit in the coldest night of the year and everything else to collect money for themselves, using the homeless as a means to do it. Right now, I have remote neuromonitoring use being done on me by one Dale Hartwick, who is the son to Larry Hartwick, who is the brother to a Sherry Hartwick, who is the son to his mother, Adrena Lappin. The cocksucker is also my cousin, and he is involved with this, doing this to me. So he gets his charges dropped. Isn't that right? The way O.P.p work with people up on charges, you commit crimes with them for them, and they get dropped. I get taken. Everybody goes back to everybody goes back. You want me dead, you want me gone because I speak of your crimes, and you cannot have that letting it get out that you're committing murders, that you are guilty of pedophilia, kidnapping, sex trade, slavery trafficking, injuring, lobotomizing your victims, lies, time buying, cover ups, and you are guilty of not only having my mother murdered, but by doing this to me, O.P.p, you are guilty of murdering the entire Wood bloodline. So I hope that makes you happy. I know it does because you are nothing but fucking killers anyway, using your badges, positions, and I will not be proven wrong. I have actually proven it right for 3.5, close to 4 years, just exactly who and what you truly are. Be safe, everybody.